we have our
understanding
doubles as
of
well.
international affairs. Let us make most of this gathering by fostering connections, sharing insights, creating network, and most importantly,
Remain with us so that
inspiring
we can
each
hand
other.
over the gavels.
Once again, welcome to
Secretary
AICON,
General.
Acharya's Model United
Secretary
Nations
General, Bhavan
Conference, and I'm sure this day is going to be an
Deputy Secretary
unforgettable
General,
one. Thank you.
Prashant K. and Director General Anil.
MUN cultivates the leaders of tomorrow by empowering the minds of today. Model United Nations is a simulation of the United Nations where students role-play as delegates representing different countries or entities within the UN. The purpose of MUN is to provide participants with an opportunity to understand international relations, diplomacy, and the workings of the United Nations. The goal is to work collaboratively with other delegates to draft resolutions and address global challenges. The conference follows formal procedures of the UN, including parliamentary rules of order. Overall, Model United Nations provides students with a unique and educational platform to learn about global issues, enhance their communication skills, and gain insights into the complexities of international relations. With this, I now introduce Ashrita GM. She is a third year studying aeronautical engineering and is also the USG Head of Finance ICON.
Good morning, everyone. It's very commendable how Acharya has come a long way in this journey of starting with a few enthusiastic students who gathered with a shared passion for international relations and the desire to bring the dynamic world of modern United Nations to Acharya institutes. These energetic individuals saw the potential for MUN to not only broaden their own perspectives, but also provide a unique platform for their peers to engage in global issues. Fueled by the belief that their meaningful change starts with informed and articulated voices, these students decided to take matters into their own hands. They represented Acharya at multiple MUN conferences, such as Econ at PS University in October, our MUN at Ramaya in October, where Bhuvan Anil was commended Best Delegate, MCC PUC MUN at Mount Carmel College in November, where Amartya was commended Special Mention, KLELCP MUN at KLE Law College in December, where Bhuvan Anil was commended High Commendation, Anushka Rai Honorable Mention, and Amartya Honorable Mention. It is truly impressive to achieve such feats in the matter of just a few months. Please give a round of applause for the entire team of Acharya. Thank you.
It gives me immense pleasure to now extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Chief Guest, Yashi Dhariwal. Mrs. Yashi Dhariwal is an author and the head of Political and Economic Department at the Honorary Consulate of Cambodia in Bangalore. She has a history of political science and international relations, and her book titled International Relations for Civil Service Aspirants has guided the UPSC aspirants in their preparation journey. She has previously worked in the political department of the Chinese Consulate of Kolkata. Please join hands in welcoming our honorable chief guest into sharing a few words with us.
Very good morning. Respected principal, directors, HOD, a very good morning and thank you so much. Greetings from the Honorary Consulate of Cambodia. It gives me great pleasure here to be here at an institution which provides its students a variety of career choices. I was amazed to see that the career choices span from pharmacy to architecture to foreign languages, the Institute of Technology, of course, and a counseling center to guide, support, and stand by their students in times of need. And now Model United Nations organized to give them the kind of exposure that they need to understand how countries cooperate, collaborate, and even differ on important global issues. I congratulate the vision of the founders of this university for creating this institution of excellence. I'm happy to see such a large audience here and an enthusiastic group of young adults who are actually interested in global politics and foreign issues. Your coming here strengthens the idea of coming together in finding solutions to problems through constructive debates and exchange of ideas. International relations is no longer actually a talk which is done by the elders or the policy makers or bureaucrats. It's something that affects you, me, the support staff of this college, families and everyone, starting from scholarships to employment issues, to discussion on food export, to rice, to automobile, to petroleum. The decisions that are being taken in the panels and parliaments and the UN chambers really affects each one of us. And that's why the discussions that these countries make, the relationships that they basically build, and the decisions which come eventually out of it is what shapes our lives. As students, there's no better way of getting exposed to these decisions, these decision making, as well as the policy formulation, other than understanding the United Nations. The United Nations, or the UN for that matter, is an institution where countries come together for such discussions, debates, and supporting countries in groups who need that kind of help. At your home, school, or even college, when a decision has to be taken, generally a meeting is held, opinions are heard, a deep dive discussion is taken, and then you expect to arrive to a conclusion. That discussion that takes place incorporates everyone's opinion. We expect this decision to be civil, of course, without the use of any unpleasant phrases, in a peaceful, non-violent fashion. And that's the essence of the modern United Nations, which teaches us values like respect, sensitivities towards other identities, nationalities, and even their country's priorities. Compassion towards other people's problem, other countries' problems, and alongside being a better leader who would ultimately take that firm decision and implement the well-being of all stakeholders involved. In that sense, the study of international relations, if you ask me, is extremely beautiful. I also have a background in political science and international relations, as you just heard, from Presidency College and Jadavpur University in Kolkata. And my majors back then were European integration and South Asian politics. Ever since I started working, my endeavor was to connect the theory with the reality. When I was training aspirants and students who are interested in becoming future IAS, IPS, IFS officers, I could see the sparkle in their eyes. And I've always tried to focus on every single bureaucrat as a leader in his or her own right. When a bureaucrat takes a decision, they have to weigh all aspects. What are going to be its political outcomes? What are going to be its economic repercussions? How will it impact the society, the cultural identities, the religious beliefs, and how will that decision affect the environment? It involves one to be disciplined, perseverant, empathetic, yet extremely pragmatic and hardworking. It's because of these qualities put together that you entrust that person with those kind of responsibilities. So I had a wonderful time teaching and mentoring them. And during the course of this, as again your host mentioned, that I authored 2 books on international relations, which of course were designed at the outset with a specific objective, designed for a specific purpose, aligned for the syllabus of the mains as well as the interview of the examination. It involved foreign policy, India's foreign policy since the 1940s, bilateral relations, India's bilateral relations with other countries, understanding the regional organizations, the multilateral organizations, and the issues which concern the world. However, beautifully, the final output turned out not only to help the aspirants, but also give a kind of a starting point for anyone who's interested in understanding India's foreign policy. So, in that sense, it was quite humbling to write the second. So, while studying international relations and training these UPSC aspirants, it actually gave me a combination which kind of opened doors for diplomatic offices. So previously, I've also worked with the consulate of China in Kolkata, and right now I'm working with the consulate of Cambodia in Bangalore. So here we take care of all our jurisdictional states, which include 7 jurisdictional states of the southern part of India, and which involves the political department, the economic affairs, commercial relations, trade, and of course the visa office. During this, I've had all kinds of experience, which has been extremely interesting. Because on the government side, we have to understand protocols of not just our jurisdictional states, the central government of in New Delhi, the provincial and central government in Cambodia or the respective countries, the working styles, cultures, food habits, which are unique in their own ways. And several interesting incidents have also happened. In fact, when I was working with the Chinese consulate, I was also kind of taking care of facilitation with the media. So as a sole point of contact in terms of making press releases, reports, analysis, etc. And there was a time when there was a particular news agency, which of course I will not name, they wanted to get in touch with the Consul General of China. And it was just difficult to kind of accommodate a slot for them given the busy time schedule. I was not able to fix a meeting with them. And a couple of days later, one of my colleagues actually pointed out that this news agency has published on their, it was a written material, so published that Yashi Surana, that was my maiden surname. So Yashi Surana of the Chinese consulate did not let us meet the Consul General, and she did not give us time. And so I was surprised and started saying that that's not really what I meant, but just to give you a sense of how interesting sometimes situations can become. In fact, when we were taking delegations from Bangalore, India, for that matter, to Cambodia, there have been all kinds of people who are there in delegations, even the businessmen. It's important to kind of stick to time, and Indians are infamous for being punctual, right, or being not punctual, and the same replicated there as well, when from meetings to all discussions to visit to the Angkor Wat temple, a particular person was perennially late, to the extent that when we were flying back to Bangalore, we had to make the plane wait for 17 minutes so that that person could board. So there have been all kinds of experiences when you get into this kind of profession, this kind of business, and it's important to always be alert, have a presence of mind according to the situation, be accommodative, and yet be extremely humble. There's nothing wrong in that. All of this may sound overwhelming to a few, but believe me, it's not that difficult. And I'll tell you why. It's because of this attitude of yours that out of 14,000 plus students that this institute has, your university has, only a few have come this morning and been a part of this momentous inaugural of the AICON Model United Nations at Acharya Institute. So the good news is that each one of you sitting on the other side is going to be on this side of the table, of the room, within 10 years, 20 or 15 for that matter. So congratulations to all of you for coming this morning. And in this journey that we're about to take, each one of us, one of the most important virtues that one should always remember is gratitude. Gratitude towards bringing people together, seeing things come to reality. So I want to express gratitude for this event And I would appreciate, I would have hoped he would be here, but is Mr. Krishna Kabir Reddy here right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But I would appreciate if one volunteer walks up to him and expresses a heartfelt gratitude, a big warm hug, and thank them for bringing all of us together, arranging this wonderful, beautiful morning, and seeing that much comes out of this particular discussion. So congratulations to the organizers, to all your students, and wishing you all the very best in this particular discussion that you're part of, because things which you do in your college really shape and come handy in which part of your life you'll not know right now. So be involved, learn, enjoy the process, and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, if you would wait a moment, I would like to call upon Tejas sir, who is our head of student activity, to present a bouquet that represents our gratitude for her presence. And also present a bouquet to Abhishek sir. Please take a seat. I would now like to call upon our Director General of ICON 24, Amulya Srinath.
Good morning to the Chief Guest. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning to all of the delegates, the Executive Board members, and all my fellow organizing committee members. Before I start saying anything, firstly, I would like to apologize for the delay in the opening ceremony. I know everybody's time and the committee time has been a little out of order, but we will surely get back on track after the opening ceremony. So without wasting time, I'm here to introduce the executive board members that are part of our ICON 24. Ma'am, I would like you to kindly present them the gavel. Sure. I will call upon their names and we'll facilitate them with the gavel. Starting off, we have the UNEP, that is the United Nations Environmental Program, headed by our chairperson, Benedict Thomas, our vice chairperson, Evelyn Tessa Grace, and the moderator, Siddharth N.
Okay. So what are you guys saying here? What do they expect to do in 3 days? Okay. So, you know, these are the guys who ask for all your training. Please, take their hands.
Thank you, Benedict, Siddharth, and Evelyn. We now have the next committee, that is the United Nations Secretary Council. Starting off, we have Aditya Prakash Nayak and Sahit Bangre as the co-chairpersons. And we have Ms. Anakha Girish as the moderator.
Are there any guidelines that you will
We have a background guideline for
are the countries who are representing on this particular
So, we have non-permanent members and permanent members. We have Sudan, relevant state parties.
non-permanent are the ones who are
Current.
Amulya.
Moving on to the next committee, we have the United Nations General Assembly, that is the DISEC committee. The chairperson for this committee is P. Unnikrishnan. The co-vice chairpersons are Madhav Pavitran and Anirudh H. And the rapporteur or the moderator is Ms. Hanya.
General Assembly were used for top job and we hope that you can get example and make that organized truly democratic.
Next is the United Nations Human Rights Council. This committee is again co-chaired by co-chairperson Jetru Aman and Fani Srivatsava. And the moderator is Ms. Hina.
Something that comes out of it when you can try to that this is what you propose as a student as a child. This is what you propose
Now moving on to the Indian committee, that is the All India Political Parties meet. The chairperson for this committee is Naman Mankadadri, vice chairperson is Ms. Dhruvi, and the moderator is Ms. Shreya Shivkumar. As the chairperson, Naman was unable to attend the opening ceremony. The vice chairperson and the moderator will be collecting his gavel.
After you finish, I'm going to call you to your point to get your gavels, and then after that, Bhuvan will come and give a speech. You look so cute, man. Amulya, Amulya, Amulya. You look so cute, man.
Now we have the press, that is the IPC. Head of press is Ms. Shubhashri and the editor-in-chief is Mr. Arun.
I was just saying you look very cute. Okay, Amulya, you have to go there, come.
Hoping to have, ma'am, you can please take a seat. Hoping to have a great time working with all of the executive board members, and I hope that all the delegates learn one or two things from all of the executive board members, as all of them are highly commendable people in the Bangalore MUN circuit. Thank you.
Ma'am, a few more moments of your time. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our Secretary General, Bhuvan Anand, to receive his felicitation of a gavel.
Acharya and the MUN, of course. So I think he is very instrumental in reaching out to us, to the Acharya Honorary Council, Mr. Naveen of Ivory Coast, who couldn't be here, he's traveling, right? So I think we should all, can we have one volunteer who come and give a, a gratitude, express gratitude to him? Any volunteer? I'm sure. All right. So thank you.
May I please welcome the Deputy Secretary General, Prashant.
Cue the man walking behind.
And now for our Director General, Amulya Srinath. Please take a seat, ma'am and sir. And now, may I now introduce Bhuvan Anil, first year aeronautical engineering, who is also the Secretary General of ICON.
Good morning, delegates. Considering the fact that we started late and that I have not prepared any speech at all because I have an exam to catch at 2 o'clock, so I'm going to keep this short and crisp. I welcome you all to Acharya's inaugural edition, and it's a great pleasure and gratitude that I extend to each and every single person seated here or standing here for being present in Acharya Institutes right now for this conference, because it's been a big dream of mine and a brainchild that me and Amulya together have worked on for nearly a year. We'll be going through our first anniversary as a Mansau in the August of this year. That's a few more days left too. So it's been a pleasure. I extend the deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. And I would also like to mention, of course, the faculty in charge, Professor Tejas, who's been with us throughout the events, be it the Intra-MUN or be it this conference as well. He's helped immensely in every single aspect possible, including Mr. Jayat, the assistant to Professor Tejas, as well as Prajwal sir, another faculty in charge who's helped us through every single possible issue that we faced with this conference. And also, I cannot not do this speech without mentioning Mr. Krishna Kavi Reddy Basani, our Managing Director at Acharya Institute, the man with the motivation and support to give us this platform, to provide us with the right amount of resources, and to give us enough encouragement, basically, to execute this in the proper manner that it deserves to be in. And considering my entire aspect of MUNning, right, I started in my 12th grade. I started in cotton, so I'm pretty sure all of you are familiar with Coma. That's where I started my EV experience with as well. And coming here and finding out that there are students who are interested in pursuing MUNs but not having a Mansau to function through, it became a task that I took upon myself to bring Acharya to the circuit, to the Bangalore circuit, and give it the desire that it had to run through the MUNs. Now, I again would like to suggest and advise to every single delegate here to please focus on your agendas properly, come to a fruitful end. Do not, veto for the sake of vetoing and scrap a document because, of course, we all know the infamous history with UNSCs and MUNs. There's a document never passes there. So please have a fruitful discussion with your co-delegates. Utilize your EB members to the maximum of their capacities. You could ask them any question, bombard them with questions, bombard them with chits, give them your best speeches, and utilize their expertise and experience to the maximum possible. Because this is a platform for you to learn and for you to come forth as a great MUNer. Alright? So I will be obviously ending my speech here because I don't have anything else in mind to suggest to you guys. I would again thank you for being here and hope you have an amazing conference and hope that we can accommodate and be present for you in the best way possible. And by the powers vested in me, I would like to declare this conference, the inaugural edition of ICON, open.
Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the opening ceremony. I would like to thank our chief guest, Mrs. Yashi Dhariwal, HOD of MBA, Mr. Abhishek, principals, assistant directors, Mr. Tejas sir, and I would like to thank all of our delegates and members. Thank you so much. My name is Sakina Fatima.
All the best to all of you.
Delegates, kindly can I have your attention? Okay, first of all, I would suggest all of you to, check out the map that I've sent, because I'll be announcing where the committees are. The CS block or the computer science block will be UNEP. All of the delegates can head to your committees, and the registrations along with everything else will be done there itself. Okay. Second, we have AIPPM in the mechanical block. It will be in the mechanical block auditorium. Even UNEP will be in the CS block auditorium. UNSC will be in the library on the first floor, so all of the UNSC delegates can just stay back. The IPC, DISEC and UNHRC will be in the architecture block. So all of you can head to the architecture block. There are our OC members. They will guide you to your tours.